Welcome back. Today we are going to talk about the standards of the C programming language, and by the end of this course we are going to install 3 compilers, that is MSVC, GCC and CLang. So the C programming language is governed by standard. What does it mean? A standard is just like a rules that govern how the language should work. The C programming language was born in 1972 during the development of the Unix operating system at the Bell's Lab. Dennis Ritchie designed the C language in order to redevelop the Unix operating system that had been written in assembly so far. In the year 1978, Brian Kenigan and Dennis Ritchie released a renowned book known as the C programming language. During this period, the C programming language was known as K and R C standard. There was not yet an international organization that governs how the C standard should look like. Alright, so in the year 1989, the very first standard specification of the C language was known as C89 or ANSI. This was released by the American National Standard Institute, which is also known as ANSI. That is why it is also referred to as the ANSI C standard. Alright, let us fast forward. In 1990, the ANSI C became an international standard. It is also referred to as ANSI C. This was called, I'm just going to write the name, ISO/CEI 9899:1990. This is also referred to as the C90 standard, or you can also call it the C89. All of these refer to the same standard. In 1995, some minor features were added to the C90. Okay, this is also referred to as the ISO CEI 9899 Amendment 1. This is also called C90 Amendment 1 or C95. And in the year 2000, we have a new international C standard, adding a great number of new features and corrections. This was published under the label also referred to as C99. Throughout the years, the philosophy of the language have not changed. This standard is just adding features and correcting errors which have been found in the previous standards. That is why we keep on having new standard of the C programming language. To fast forward, we have different standards such as we have the C11, we also have the C17. As of now, we are in 2024, so we are expecting to have C2X. This X simply means we don't yet know when the next standard of the C language is going to be released. The X is just a variable. The current standard of C that we have currently is known as C17. This standard is just a document. You can Google search it and you can read what is in the standard, what are the functions which have been included, what are the mistakes which were corrected from the previous standard. Though the language was closely connected to the Unix operating system at its inception, it is important to know that program written in the C programming language can compile on any operating system. The only thing you need to have is a compiler. What is a compiler? A compiler is just a tool that will take your source code, the code you write in your C programming language, and is going to like compile your program into machine instruction and is going to run it on your targeted platform. So all you need to have is a compiler for that platform. The compiler or compiler vendors are the people that usually implement the standards of the C programming language, and they usually add more because under the C standard, the C programming language also give choice to compiler vendors to handle certain behavior. We are going to talk a little bit more about this in our next video. I will advise most Windows user to install the MSVC compiler. So depending on your platform, if you're on Linux or you are on a Unix operating system, you should install the compiler of your choice. So I'm going to walk you through how to install the MSVC on Windows, the GCC on Windows, and also the CLang using MSys2. Alright, head over to your favorite search engine. You can type MSVC. The Microsoft Visual Studio comes with the MSVC compiler. For you to have this compiler, you need to download the IDE, which is a studio. So it is a free software for developers, right? All you need to do is to create a free account. If you are under enterprise, I think you need to pay for this software. Let me run the executable. So in this menu, you are going to select the tools that you will need. Throughout this tutorial, we will need this tool. Desktop development with C++, does it. It's going to come with a compiler, both C and C++ compiler. Alright, and you hit the install. Well, we are going to wait for this to finish installing. While we are waiting for this to finish installing, we can head back to our browser and we are going to install MSys2. You can see it here. MSys2 is just a collection of tools and libraries providing you with easy to use environment for building, installing and running native Windows software. You have to just download the exe. Spend a little bit more time on this website, right? You can go under the documentation here and read a little bit more about MSys2 to know what it is if you have never used it before, especially when you come under the environment. This environment is usually your working environment and it is where all your packages will be installed, because it says MSys2 environment contain a Unix-like CJWin based tool, lives under the .user, the environment we are going to use. And it says that if you are not sure with the environment to select, you should use the UCR64 environment, but for me I would prefer to use the MSys environment. If you read from here, it says all other environments inherit from MSys environment and add various things on top of it. Okay, so you can also come down to, I think, package management, and you can see how to install package under MSys2. Now, one thing you have to know is MSys2 uses pacman. Pacman is a package management tool for Arch Linux, right? So if you're familiar with pacman, I think you're good to go. All right, so let us run MSys2. It's telling me about smart screen because I'm running MSVC Studio at the background, but I'm going to run it and take the next. Now this is the default directory, which is fine for me. Install MSys2 next. Okay, MSys2 is done. Hit finish key. By default, MSys2 will use the UCRT64 environment, which for me, I personally don't prefer, but it works okay. Go to my start menu and I will see MSys2 MSys. This is the environment we are going to use. So first thing first, you have to update your packages by writing I think pacman /syu. So they say Visual Studio. If I take OK, I'm sure it's not going to reboot. Please don't reboot. Let us launch our MS Visual Studio and we write our simple hello world. Everybody loves that theme. So we are going to create a new project. Let us call it hello world. An empty project next. Empty project next. Call it hello world project next. Hello world. I'm going to save it. The desktop. Under source, I hit the add new item. Hello world.c because it's a C file, not a C++ file. Okay, so we have our hello world.c. Now let's write a simple hello world program. All right, so can compile and run our program by hitting the local Windows debugger. Check your console, you see hello world program running. One more thing you can do here is to add the compile button. Customize, add new command under build, compile, yeah, this one, add it. All right, it becomes very easy for us to just hit the compile button and this is going to compile our program. All right, so that is it with the MSVC. Now let's head over to MSys2 and install GCC and CLang. These are some of the few commands you need to know. For example, when you want to search a package, let us search for the GCC. So type pacman, the \capital S small s, and we write GCC. The one we are looking for is under MSys. Okay, now I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about MSys2 because this tutorial is not all about MSys2. If you read this page, you will see that there are 6 package repository. Now they say the classical is MSys2, min 32, this is for 32 bits, 64 bits, min GW. And then you also have UCRT 64 bit, CLang 32 bit, and CLang 64 bit. All right, when you search a package and you see here, this is where this repository is being found. Okay, like you can see here, like there are 6 package repository. Depending on which one you want, you can install it from that repository. So this is going to install our GCC package. So if you want to see the package already installed under your environment, just write pacman, I think click here on the GCC. You will see the GCC environment. This is GCC. It is already installed on our computer. Let us search for GCC, for the GCC package. As you can see, we have installed this under MCs, and maybe if you go up, we will also see this under UCR64. Right, that is from the other environments. We have these two compiler installed in two separate environments. Previously, after installing the GCC, I wrote this command like just to check if I have GCC on under my PC. I wrote GCC version, and it said the command not found. This simple thing I did was I had to restart my computer. So after restarting my computer, well, tada, it was there. So maybe if you face the same error, so all you have to do is just to restart your computer, right? I prefer working under this MC's environment than UCR than this other one. So I prefer working under this environment than this other one. So one thing you could do is copy the environment path, because if you check under our DEX MC64, yeah, this is the environment directory on DEX for this MCs, right? This is the environment here under user, right? If you go under bin, I think you will see, if you maybe you search for GCC, I think you will see the compiler here. And if you search also for CLang under the environment, I think CLang, yeah, so you will see it here, right? So copy this path to your environment path in a way that if you go under your command prompt and you type GCC, if you type GCC version here, you can also use it under this command prompt. So that's it. This is just an update. In the video I had difficulty, so this is me in the future, just to tell you that all you have to do is, after installing, and if you type the command under this environment is not working, you just have to restart your computer. But I couldn't restart my computer because I was recording. So GCC version, and it says batch command not found. What is the problem? Now again, we are going to install our CLang pacman, the same command. We put pacman, this is our package name, and enter. We just have to wait for it to finish installing. Okay, so after installing, we can check our CLang version. See, we have the latest version, which is 11.0. so that's it. We have installed GCC and CLang compiler on our system. Alright, so let's go back in the example we wrote and try to compile our program using these compilers. Alright, so the first compiler we're going to use is the GCC compiler. So this is the executable from Microsoft. This is our hello world program. Hold the shift key and right click, command, let's type GCC. Alright, so here we are going to type GCC our hello world. Let's see /o and hello world program. Alright, so we're going to compile our program there, and we can run our program using the / and hello world.exe, and we can see our program running. So we can still use the same command, but using CLang. Instead of using GCC, let's use CLang, the same process, and that's it. So we can still run our program. If you want to notice it, we can delete this executable here. Delete. Let's run again our program. Let's run again our command. Yep, that's it. / hello world exe, and we still have our programs. That's it. It works fine. If you face any difficulties, please don't forget to comment. But if you are on a Linux environment, I think it's very easy, because Linux make it very easy for programmers to manage your libraries. Meanwhile, on Microsoft don't make it easy for for coders or for developers to easily manage packages on the Windows environment. So we have to use tools such as MSVC, which try to make the task very easy for us. I think that's it. Everything is clear. So I hope this has been informative to you, and I'll see you in the next one.